Hi, I'm Fatma Abbas from the Journalistnextdoor. This is our very first episode, and I can't be more excited to welcome Briar Jacques from the Free Spirit Collective. She's the co-founder, and it's an amazing, amazing initiative. Thank you so much for joining us today, Briar.
Thanks, Fatima. Great to be here.
I'm super excited to speak with you today, Briar, about some very important topics. And I believe we met at the Women's Circle, which was a fantastic initiative, very rare to see in the region as well. So can you tell me more about your story as well? I'm so excited to hear about how you became the co-founder, how you founded the Free Spirit Collective, and about something as important as the Women's Circle.
Sure. So I've been in Dubai now 9 years, and I've worked in mental health about 20. And in about 2018, I wanted to have a go at doing something that was a little different here that took a more community approach to mental health. So still, of course, included clinical services, but also branched out into less clinical services. So more things like support groups, circles. I feel that as human beings, we are hardwired to be in community, and we heal well in community. And that certainly for me fits into the values of the UAE. So in about 2018, I started something called the Free Spirit Project, which was literally just me. And then what happened was other people kind of resonated with that and we started to come together. And so we were like, wow, this is not a project anymore. This is now a collective. And so the idea behind the collective is many voices on the path. So we have a very diverse team of about 16 different people working in different ways, doing different things, different training, different cultures, different backgrounds, different ages. And we come together to do multidisciplinary team activities. So this includes psychiatry, psychology, coaching, support groups, children's services, learning group, a library, lots of stuff. So we really wanted there to be in the heart of downtown. We walk out that room, literally look up, you'll see the Burj Khalifa. We wanted there to be a sense of a home for people to explore their well-being. Obviously, if they're very unwell, there's psychiatry, which can support them and move them back into a healthy state. Or if they're just seeking growth, there's everything. So we have that. And the Women's Initiative, where we met, is really dear to my heart. So we have a growing community of women who come together for real conversation, to support each other, to examine what we face as women and how that has impacted us, and how to help each other overcome this to become more creative, more contributive, and just more well. So we have the circles, we have coursework, we do retreats. We have a retreat coming up next year. So it's fantastic and fun.
The retreat sounds like an amazing initiative, and again, very rare. And you don't hear about such things that happen very frequently, especially when it comes to a clinic or a practice, So that really isn't a community factor, I would say, right?
Yeah, I would say there's a lot of brilliant work happening in Dubai. There are a lot of great clinics doing amazing things. And a lot of them do have initiatives around, support groups and things like this. And this is fantastic to see because post-COVID, we need to scale these services. So, rare, I guess we're just being ourselves. But I would say that there is a lot of great stuff happening. But I love the creative part of it. So I have a history as a yoga teacher as well as a therapist. And so for me to be able to take a group of women away, be able to do yoga, be able to sit under the stars, this is heaven. So
a fantastic break from everything that, is the hustle and bustle of the city in a way. And, we were speaking about this a little earlier as well, that how mental health is still in some ways carries stigma and taboo. And there might be a challenge in trying to overcome that at this point, even when it comes to, getting the right help, having the right insurance policy, for example. Mental health is sometimes considered expensive. So can you tell me more about that too?
For sure. We've just had Mental Health Awareness Week. It was last week. So there is a real need to raise that awareness for people to realize that mental health is just like all aspects of health, very real. There are ways you can attend to it. There are ways you can protect your mental health, just like you do physical health. But because this is in the sort of the realm of the unseen, and people often have the idea that they can just fix it themselves. So I would say to somebody, if you ripped the meniscus in your knee, would you just go home, put a Band-Aid on it and say, well, I'll be fine? You'd have to go and see an orthopedic surgeon. So that's somebody who's specialized in understanding knees, right? And so when you're at that level of, say you're really struggling with depression or anxiety disorder, something like this, which happens to everybody at some point. We all experience some level of these things. To go to somebody, say, for like a psychiatrist who's specialized in that is very wise. At the other end of the spectrum, we all have need to do, prevention rather than cure. And so what is it that keeps us robust mentally? Understanding psychology. So, people do psychological first aid training now, understanding how to deal with people when they're in a crisis, understanding how to work with your own feelings and emotions. And so we have, obviously here, there's the insurance, like you said, some people are blocked to service from insurance. So what we've tried to do is offer everything from free all the way up. So we have free meditation class every week. And this can be a great way to protect your mental health. It's been around for thousands of years. Support groups, coaching, lower cost things. And then, obviously sometimes you do need a more medical intervention, and that's it. But yeah, I agree with you. We need to do a lot of talking about mental health, to normalize it, to understand it, and encourage. Often what I think of with little children coming in. So we have coaches and therapists who work with little kids, and a lot of it's play-based. And what I love is that the seeds are being planted in those children, that when they're 35 years old, therapy, mental health is just normal. It's just something I do to help myself if I need to. There's not that barrier to entry. And you see that with some of the kids' programs. It's another reason why they're important.
That's fantastic. Yeah. And just, circling back to the whole community factor, like the Facebook collective, and adopting a more holistic approach when it comes to identifying mental health and, looking at it completely in that 360 degrees way. Can you expand a little bit on that and talk about that? It's such an interesting topic to, look into.
Yeah, I think, gone are the days where we see mental, emotional, physical as separate. We know that it's the body, mind, spirit. It's all, and I would include spirituality in this. That we are just one being, and we're a social being, we're a spiritual being, we're a physical being, emotional being, and obviously we think. And we often are trained to believe that really we're just a thinking being who sometimes feels things and we should get that under control. But actually, we're not born thinking. But we are born feeling, and we are born conscious. And so we're actually conscious feeling spiritual beings having a physical experience who also think. And so when you think about a holistic model, you can line it up more with that as the understanding. Medicine, like as we think of sort of mainstream medicine, can obviously do wonders. But so can alternative approaches that come out of the wisdom traditions of every culture, So how do we bring practitioners together more to do what we call multidisciplinary team consultation to really help people flourish? That's, I think, a lot of the conversation now. It's not just us, we're doing our bit here, and of course we're small, but we're growing, but I think it's very exciting to be able to attend to all the different aspects of functioning, including the social.
You're 100%. Yeah. And I think even though you said it's small, I think it's making a big impact, because, that little step from in that way that you're thinking it's little, it's huge, it's massive, it's, lending a hand to the community. Like for me personally, when I came to the women's circle, I felt at home, to be able to engage with other women and have that conversation. So I think the Pre-Split Collective is really doing such wonderful work, and I'm super happy that I could speak with you today as my first guest.
That's wonderful. Thanks, Fatima.
Thank you so much, Briar. So that's it for today, and we will be joining you very soon in our next interview with a very special guest.